All right, we're going live here. We're holding on. The aftermath of the party. Things are a little crazy around here, but we think we've survived and held on okay.
Sorry we're late.
Um,
Do you have your mic?
do I have my mic? I have my mic. We have sound, so that's good. And we apparently have a drink menu for this evening, so that all should work. We have a backup, super backup hat, so that'll go because somewhere along the line I lost my hat in the party last night. So
I
there's
lost my
that.
mic.
She lost her mic. I lost my hat. We have no flames. We have no music. It's just cats and dogs living together. You know,
No dogs?
mass anarchy. Yeah, it's a Ghostbusters reference for all you kids out there. No, not that Ghostbusters, the actual original Ghostbusters. So hey, we had a party last night, and it was a good one. Apparently, people seemed to like it. Nobody left horrified, I guess. um, they left fortified, but not horrified. Yes. Everyone seemed to make it home okay, including our kitties who just stayed home. And we are joined here by two of our guests from last night's party, my mom and her husband Larry. So they are sitting here in our studio audience looking exceedingly expectant at me. And wow, it's a little disconcerting. Oh my goodness. All right. We usually start this off with a toast. Sometimes those toasts are happy toasts, sometimes they are not so happy toasts. Today is going to be kind of a mixture of those. We need 4 glasses for toasting, right?
Yes.
1, 2. Look at this, I can just reach under there without even looking.
Right.
We're going to toast with punch.
All right.
We're going to toast with punch because they didn't drink enough of the high octane punch last night. I made 2 punches. I made a high octane, high test punch and a no alcohol punch. And then I made a whole bunch of drinks. And they drank a lot of the drinks. They drank some of the punch. And I think people glanced at the low ABV punch. So that's about.
Some people mixed it with the standard punch.
Mixing it with the standard punch. I don't know. What does that say? Does that say they didn't like the punch?
I think they were taking a break.
They're taking a break
from booze, but they
What?
did it by
taking a break from
having
booze.
having a mix of regular and low.
You don't want to go cold turkey.
I found my mic, by the way.
You want to go cold turkey. You don't want to go hot turkey. Pretty much turkeys are just right out, I think, in this case. Okay, so what have we got? We have a punch, and no, I'm not going to tell you what's in that punch because I don't remember what's in the punch for the most part. It is made with my usual base.
Hi, Mom and Larry. Hi,
Aloysius is here. Beauregard is here. So he's still unnamed. The guy.
Colleen is making Ghostbuster references.
Oh, we've never had a name for our big squid guy up here, which you can't see because of the angle of the camera. So, we have drinks to toast with, though. So, somebody want to come and take these? We'll do that. Hand those over. Got it?
Got it.
All right. We do apologize for being just slightly late.
Do we have to tip the barmaid?
We all ended up taking naps this afternoon, and those naps went a little longer than we thought. So between getting to sleep at sometime after 2 and cleaning up the bar until that time, and getting up this morning.
I got up this morning.
Right. And then trying to get all things squared away and situated for the maids. We all took naps. Great.
The cats are knocking things over.
The cats are trying to knock over bottles of rum. It's okay. All the bad rum is on the bottom shelf, so it's all right. All right. So a toast. So a toast to having good friends over from all different sorts of walks of life. I will say that probably the vast majority of the friends that showed up will in fact share this other not so happy toast this evening.
Hailing frequencies closed, Captain.
Nichelle Nichols passed away today at the ripe old age of 89.
89.
And
For those that didn't grow up with Star Trek, it was Uhura, the original.
Star Trek, the original series. Yep. And also, she goes down in history for sharing the first interracial kiss on network television
Yeah.
with William Shatner.
Yeah, she was groundbreaking.
Yep. She at one point, in dealing with Hollywood and dealing with Hollywood racism and that sort of thing, wanted to walk away from Star Trek and talked with Dr. Martin Luther King, and he told her just how important it was to see a black woman on the bridge of a starship and in a command position, and she stayed. So here's to you, Miss O'Hara, Nichelle Nichols. All right, enough of that bittersweet crap. We're gonna make some drinks. I'm not gonna do anything original this evening. We are doing drinks that we made last night. We will do 3 of the 6 drinks that we had on the menu. Well, we actually have a menu. Dun, dun, dun.
Keith wanted to know if we would do a drink called the Nuterhura. Maybe if we had more time.
There's our menu. So you can see there's a Cobra Fang, a Jet Pilot, the Mai Thai, the Mr. Bali High, a Saturn, and a Rum Barrel. And then there's some low ABV stuff. So there's an Amaro Spritz, there's just bitters and soda, and then mocktails as requested. Oddly, I didn't get any requests for mocktails, so who knows? Anyway, we ran out of orange juice last night, so we're not going to do any of the cocktails that have orange in them. And we are going to be doing 3 of the main cocktails this evening. We're going to do the Mai Tai, the Mr. Bali High, and the Saturn. You will notice, maybe, can you see that closely? Mai Tai is spelled differently than the usual drink. Mai Tai is usually M-A-I-T-A-I. When you add the H to it, obviously it's a reference to Thailand. And there was a reference to Thailand in this particular drink, or to Thai cuisine, because normally when you make a Mai Tai, your sweet base is split between orgeat and simple syrup or falernum or something along those lines. And instead, what we did is we split our sweet base between orgeat and a kaffir lime leaf syrup. That's a mouthful. So where is this syrup? It is here. This is what we have left of it. So this is just a simple syrup. So this is a 1-to-1 mix of sugar and water. And I brought it to a boil to dissolve all the sugar and tossed a handful, like 12 or so leaves of kaffir lime leaves, which are usually used in Thai cooking to make a lot of your really yummy Thai salads and soups and that sort of thing. It smells very much like Tom Kha Gai, that very distinctive Tom Kha Gai smell. I didn't even realize that that's what that smell was until I made the syrup and went, oh, I'm in heaven. So we have to be a little careful with the syrup because it gets a little overpowered by some of the other ingredients in the Mai Tai. So I may, in fact, kick up the percentage of kaffir lime in one of the 2 cocktails that we're going to do. We're going to make these as shaken cocktails. So there's one. Here's the container for the second. And this way we can taste differences between them. So what do you think of the punch? Still the day after, it's okay? A little watered down because of the, big ice block that was melting in it. Okay, we need lime juice for this. That's lemon. This is lime. Shout out, as usual, to everybody that helped me with juicing, because, and in this case, I mean, did juicing, because I didn't touch any of the juicing this time around. So, yeah, there was lots and lots of juicing that needed to be done.
10 pounds of limes.
10 pounds of limes. This is all the lime juice we have left. So, yeah, we did a lot of drinks last night, didn't we? You go there.
Elizabeth can confirm it was a good party.
Oh, that's right. Yay. All right, so there's the live juice. What else do we need? Curacao. So we use, around here for our Mai Tais, we use Pierre Ferrand dry Curacao. You could use almost any of your orange liqueurs. I think the dry Curacao just happens to work better for Mai Tai. That's what I was looking for. Real jigger. This will allow me to get a little better measurement. Half ounce. Right there. It really seemed to work out well last night. We had an opening drink, like a little greeter drink, and I could knock those out very, very quickly because I pre-batched them. And so as people came in the door, instead of immediately wandering up and trying to order something from the menu and making me completely in the weeds, there was, here's a drink, go talk amongst yourselves. Oh, and by the way, there's punch, until I'm ready to actually start making some drinks. Although I will say, I was pretty much in the weeds most of the evening. We had about 20 people here. That's pretty much pushing my maximum capacity to knock out cocktails. I did have an order list here as I was marking them down, and I still managed to forget cocktails. I don't know how bartenders do it, especially when somebody comes up and says, make me something, and they're already staring at a list of 6 cocktails, and then it's like, and something. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Anyway, orgeat. So orgeat, homemade orgeat, right here. So this is, you probably already know this if you're tuning in, but this is essentially a homemade almond milk that is sweetened with sugar or syrup or something along those lines, and a little rose water and orange blossom water to just give it a little bit different flavor. And we're going to go with 1/4 ounce of that. Actually, we're going to go 1/4 ounce in one of them. And this will be the traditional, this will be the style that I made last night, where we have this split base. This one, we are going to use the kaffir lime leaf syrup for the entire sweet component. So for this guy, we need another 1/4 ounce. A little more. And for the other one, we're going to go full 1/2 ounce. No, we're not. Put on there. Pour this back. Yeah, there was a little over 1/2 ounce there, so there we go. There's 1/2 ounce. Ta-da! Come on, you can do it. There we go. All right. Next up, traditionally a Mai Tai these days is made with a combination of rums, usually a Jamaican rum and some form of rum agricole, usually a Martinique rum agricole, and that's what we were doing last night. We were using the Appleton 12-year and the Clement VSOP for that. We're going to do something slightly different because my Appleton 12-year is no longer on the back bar here, so we're not going to use that. We are going to use, in fact, the other Jamaican rum that I traditionally use for Mai Tais, which is the Dr. Bird. So we're going to go full ounce Dr. Bird. Clement VSOP, so this is an aged rum agricole. I'm going to go 1 ounce of that.
I'm going to turn my microphone off to call.
All right, there we go. Wow, tiny little bit of that left. So I need another bottle. For the other, we are going to take the cheating step. So a number of years back, well, pretty much throughout Tiki's history, people have tried to recreate the original flavors of the Mai Tai, and you can't do that without having Ray and Nephew 17-year-old rum, which is no longer produced and hasn't been produced since the 1940s. So various people have tried to put together rums that work for Mai Tais without having to mix multiple rums. And by most accounts, one of the best of those is the Denizen Merchant's Reserve 8. So we're going to go with a full 2 ounces of that for this other Mai Tai. I'm sorry, I can't distinguish between these two on like names because I can't call one a Mai Tai and one a Mai Tai and try and get across the fact that one has an H in it. It just doesn't work that way. So that's not happening. All right, I now have really sticky syrup all over my hands. So we're gonna wash that off. That's it. That's what goes into a Mai Tai. All right, fine. We're gonna scoop out some ice, throw that in there, give these guys a shake. Okay, that ice is sticking to the inside of the scoop. So I'm gonna have to do a second scoop here. Remember, what was it, last week when I said don't leave your metal scoop in with your ice? Yeah, that's why. All right, there we go. Box lid. I'm going to lid this up. There's one. There's two. Shake, shake, shake. Okay, 2 slightly different Mai Tais here. Goes there. That goes there. And we serve these in the traditional double rocks glasses. What do we have? We have one here from Tony's on the Pier in Redondo Beach, California, and one from Hidden Harbor in Pittsburgh. Right? Yes, right. Okay. Hidden Harbor is the full kaffir lime treatment, and then the Tony's is more along the lines of what we did last night, bearing in mind we're swapping out the Dr. Bird for the Appleton 12 here. I'm going to add a little more crushed ice to top these off.
No one gives me sympathy for my 2 pineapples, 8 oranges, 5 pounds of lime, or 5 pounds of lemon, 10 pounds of lime.
Nobody?
Nobody.
It's just,
I was impressed.
just the price of being my wife? Is that how it
I
works?
guess so.
All right, so we're going to put straws in these. Mai Tai does have a traditional garnish, which is a half lime husk submerged into the glass. And I always like to either try and put some sort of greenery into the lime husk or something like a drink umbrella. And so that's what we're going to do. It's what we did last night. So here's a drink umbrella. Dash that right in the lime husk. In that goes, just like that. Nice, pretty little. And then I gotta shove some mint in here. My poor mint has been sitting out all night, didn't get refrigerated, so it's not in great shape. But that's okay. Okay, so this goes right in there. It'll still smell good, which is really the thing we're after here.
Yeah.
Because we want the olfactory component. When you stick your nose in, smack the mint. There. Okay, so there's the last night version, right? Scratch that off. With wilted mint, especially important. It's especially important to smack it up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to reach in and grab a straw. I'm going to take first shot at these, just so that taste the difference here. That's good. That's just good. The kaffir lime syrup really comes through in this. For just that little change, these are substantially different
Are
drinks. However, I will say, I think the Denizen is a perfectly adequate switch for a single rum in a Mai Tai. I much prefer the Dr. Bird VSOP combination of rums.
So I'm going to take these both over and let them taste.
Please.
That straw
What?
is indeed from Surfside Sips.
So the straws that are in there are not from Surfside Sips, but this one here has the pride flag on it, and that is in fact from Surfside Sips. And if you like Surfside Sips, if you like any of the straws that you see here, you too can get your very own Surfside Sips straws.
Can you get a discount?
You can get a discount. You can get 20% off if you use the promotion code LOVECRAFT, LOVECRAFT. And yes, we do get a tiny defrayment on the price of the straws that we are buying from them, because we're certainly not making any money in this regard. All right, so there's our two Mai Tais. So what do you think? Do we have a verdict on the...
Well, Larry's trying the second one.
Uh-huh. You hate them both, right? That's what this is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So Larry says different, but can't put words to it.
Would you...
Your mom prefers the Thai, Thai,
Which is which one?
the kaffir.
The kaffir. Oh, with
Right.
the kaffir and the denizen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the one that was on the left.
No, this one.
Right. She preferred
That's
that
it.
one.
That's the original. Okay, so,
Oh,
that's
so,
the one with
okay.
the Dr. Bird in it. And I gotta say, I really like my
And then
Appleton.
this is the
Just the straight up kaffir.
straight up kaffir. Okay. Sorry, I was confused on which one was which.
I still like the. It's a very different flavor of that kaffir lime.
Uh-huh.
It's a little more tart.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The Dr. Bird, the funkiness of the Dr. Bird rum is much more prominent than the Appleton 12, which is, it's got 12 years of aging in a cask. It's a much more mellow Jamaican rum. The Dr. Bird is not. The Dr. Bird is like, hi, I'm a Jamaican rum. I'm kind of funky and nasty, and you know it. So, yeah.
David said Larry needed to try it 2 or 3 times to,
Oh,
make
okay,
sure.
that's too.
That's what was the delay.
I don't have words to put to it because I've got a straw in my mouth. Is
Right,
that how that works, right?
I'm all right with that.
I was like, what is my segue? What is my transition to the next drink? I don't know. Other than saying, it's always important to make sure when you're having guests over that you provide them multiple opportunities to stay hydrated. So we had a number of bottles of water available to them, and we also had a great big pitcher of filtered cold ice water for them. And I know several people at least parked themselves by the water pitcher at different times and just went, cup of water, cup of water, cup of water. So hoping that everybody stayed hydrated. They seem to. So in terms of the big hits on the evening, so a couple of things. We started with the Cobra Fang. It was the first order that I heard. And so I said, fine, let's do Cobra Fangs. And I just did 2 doubles, so I had 4 Cobra Fangs. We probably had about 12 people here at that time. And so that was a nice blast to kind of get some cocktails out. And then the next round was a couple of different recipes. So I just did, a double of one and a double of the other. And so I kept pumping out sort of either 3 or 4 cocktails at a time. And that seemed to work pretty well for the most part. Star's waving at me.
You also had a hydration option of the non-booze punch, which Miss Elizabeth says was also very yummy.
Oh, okay. So some people did drink the non-booze punch. All right. I wasn't, from the amount of contents left in that jug, I wasn't sure that anyone had done more than oh, that's quite nice. Now I'd like some alcohol, please. I'd like to think that they come for more than just the alcohol, and that they come for some camaraderie and chatting and discussion and to see friends that they don't see in other environments. Because I mean, this was a really eclectic group of people. Some neighbors, some people we've met at various bars, some people that we met online for drink courses, people that I work with,
Relative?
relatives. Yeah, so gamers, right? So because we met Charity and Phil through gaming,
A gaming meetup?
right?
Yeah.
So
Met Amanda through Geek Talk.
right, so
Debbie,
yeah,
you've known for
known
eons.
Debbie for ages since the first go around here in the DC area. So in like '94 or so, known her for forever, through multiple of her wives. Um, Debbie and I get along so well because we just both of us give as good as we get here. At some point, I think I'm gonna make the Bali High now, but after the Bali High, I'm going to probably step away from the camera or have the camera step away from me for a few minutes, and we want to show off the latest decor edition that comes to us from Brooke and Andrea, who did a wonderful job putting this together, and we're quite happy with it. So I'll show that, but I should show that while we have cocktails, right? So I should make.
We have cocktails.
You have cocktails? You guys are fine?
Yeah.
You want to show it now?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know how far. I do have a tether, so I can only go so far.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to move this,
Took a powder.
and I'm going to turn you around. See the
Wow.
rum collection.
Dizzy. Oh my gosh, dizzy.
And can I make
I'm
it
so
here?
dizzy. My
There
head is
the
spinning.
new art installation, custom design by Light Q Designs.
You can see the water pitcher on the left-hand side,
Yeah.
which has a PVC decal on it. That's a
So
little
we've
thing.
got up here we've got a stained glass Cthulhu. We've got our tentacle lights.
Tentacle.
Tentacle light holders. Yeah, what's the word? Torchers now. I don't know what the word. Torches. We've got a little shelf underneath with some bric-a-brac and stuff. And Cthulhu picture in the middle there. So, we're going to swing around, say hi, Freddie and Larry. Hi.
Hi all.
And then we'll come back. We'll see that, yes, we do have some rum and some tiki mugs.
You should talk because my mic is off.
Oh, and his mic is off. Alexa, Cthulhu on. To where you can see. So,
All right, we'll come back over here.
there you go. And I've made you crooked. That's as good as you're getting.
All right. So there we go. I'm back. We should have my my audio back as well, and now we can see the computer. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe we could see that earlier. Who knows? I don't know. Oh wow, that's right. I forgot what necklace I was wearing. This is a shout out to our poor dear departed emo kitty that we lost the day after Christmas last year. This little black cat in a little crescent moon, and actually some of his ashes are in this pendant. So a little shout out to our dear departed kitty, and a big shout out to our two kitties that we have now, our Dunder and our Doorly, that are probably upstairs. They were amazing. We had 20 people down here, and they were pretty much constantly down here rubbing on people, hopping in laps, getting picked up, getting scritched, hiding under tables, and just generally being great cats. And we couldn't have expected anything better from them. They were pretty darn amazing in terms of. They didn't try to escape, right? They could have tried to get out. We had people going in and out of the door off on the patio. This is also, I should say, this is one of the. I think this is the first time that we've actually successfully had kind of an indoor-outdoor party, where we actually had groups of people going in and out. So that was kind of nice. Usually it's Like one group of people goes out and stays out, and then one group of people stays in, and never the twain shall meet, sort of thing. So this is
Elizabeth laughed at me describing it as some rum.
some rum. It's some rum. There's still rum out there I don't have, therefore it is some rum. Isn't that how that works? All right. Let us not destroy my hand trying to get this thing open. So the next drink. The next drink is the Mr. Bali Hai cocktail. And we've done this on, like we've done Mai Tais before, obviously, but the Mr. Bali Hai we've done on this show before. And I want to do another call out because my friends Richard and Annette Smith were down in San Diego and went to the Bali Hai, and they gifted me with the actual Bali Hai mug, which, you know, will maybe show off. I think it's probably in the upstairs cabinet, so maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not you get to see the official Mr. Bali Hai mug. So what the Mr. Bali Hai calls for is 1.5 ounces of pineapple juice. And yes, we had fresh squeezed pineapple juice last night. Note I say had. In fact, for the very last round, I actually needed to supplement that pineapple juice with canned. And here we generally, this is what we use when we aren't juicing pineapples. How do you get pineapple juice? You juice pineapples. We use the Dole unsweetened, straight up pineapple juice. Works just fine. Most of your tiki restaurants will do a combination of fresh pineapple juice and literally Dole cans because it gives them a more consistent flavor to their pineapple juice. Did I actually? I get to talking, I forget what I'm doing. No, okay, I was right. I couldn't remember if I had done I was trying to do 3/4 of an ounce in each of these twice. And I was suddenly like, wait, did I only do a 3/4 ounce? This is why you start with your cheap ingredients. Because if you're doing that with your $100 bottle rum, now you're going, well, is that 1.5 ounces or is that 3 ounces of rum? I don't know. And you're forced to drink it. Wait, that's not such a bad thing. No, but if you had mixed in a high quality rum earlier in this process and then accidentally dumped more grenadine in than you wanted or something along those lines, now you just destroyed that drink and you can't make it again. All right, this guy right here, you can kind of see him. I'm going to raise him up a little bit. This is the Mr. Bali Hai mug as it is being served currently at the Bali Hai restaurant. The Bali Hai was established in 1954, as it says on the back of the mug. And it's got room for 2 straws because they made their Bali Hais extra big. And it's just a really, really cool mug. It's nice. It's heavy. I highly recommend if you get to the Bali Hai and you're at all interested in tiki paraphernalia and that sort of thing, the Mr. Bali Hai mug is a very, very cool mug. Okay, we need lemon juice to go with this. So lemon is not lime. We have, I don't know what was with those lemons, but they gave up a lot of juice. We have so much lemon juice. Okay, we're gonna go 1 ounce lemon juice. Each of these. Normally for the parties, I will pre-batch the mixes, so everything that isn't alcohol, I will have in bottles already pre-mixed. And so I just know, oh, for the Mr. Bali Hai, I pour 3 ounces of mix and then the rum's in, and bing, we're done. Did not do that this time. It's probably part of the reason why I was a little bit in the weeds throughout all of this. We need a 1/2 ounce of some form of syrup for this. And I, of course, did not get that syrup out of the back room. Very strange knowing how many syrups and various other things are in that fridge. And my ability to just kind of dive into that fridge and go, oh yeah, that syrup is there. Especially when I put some of this away at 2 in the morning. I have no idea how that happens. All right, so 1/2 ounce. This is a simple syrup. Actually, this is not it is a simple syrup. It's 1 part white sugar, 1 part demerara sugar to 2 parts water. which ultimately is a 1-to-1 sugar to water ratio. The Demerara syrup just gives it a slightly different flavor profile and a little thicker consistency. So, sugars. White sugar made from molasses. Essentially, you're spinning out and crystallizing the sugar out of the. It's not made from molasses, sorry. Molasses is a byproduct. So you spin out the molasses, you get white granulated sugar. Brown sugar in most supermarkets these days, most of Western society, is nothing more than white sugar that some brown sugar or some molasses has been added back in order to give it that flavor. So they separate it out and then they go, oh wait, people want brown sugar. Here, let's add some of that back in. Demerara, like turbinado and your quote unquote raw sugars, don't have that split yet. They're crystallized and they still have some of those darker molassesy flavors in the sugar, so it doesn't have to be added in. So white sugar is the pure, brown sugar is the pure plus things added to it, and then the raw sugar, the turbinados and the demeraras are before you apply that sort of purifying process to the cane syrup. Okay, there we go. That's syrup. Now we need to go to the alcohols. So we're going to go 1 ounce of Plantation 3-Star. So 3-Star does not stand for 3 years. It stands for Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, because those are the 3 states that are contributing rum to this blend. That is not the right cork for that bottle. Another hazard of trying to put things away at 2 in the morning. We want 1 ounce of the Plantation 3-Star. If you have not had Plantation 3-Star, you probably should. It is a solid rum, especially for a white rum. It's got a lot more It's got a lot more flavor to it than some of your straight up like your Bacardi Silver or something like that, which is just coming off of a column still. This has got some combination of column still and pot still built into it, coming from both Jamaica and Barbados. So it's quite a good rum, especially good for mixing. Next, we need a Jamaican rum, and here, last night I was reaching for my Jamaica, my Plantation Jamaica, as my go-to Jamaican rum. Maybe I should switch the corks on these 2 bottles. Actually, I don't think either of these are Plantation corks. That's probably true. For this, we need 1.5 ounces of the Jamaica. So I'm going to go 3/4 of an ounce. We're getting a little low on the Jamaica. I'm really hoping that this is still the first bottle of Jamaica, and that I have a second bottle of Jamaica under the in the storage area, the rum storage. No, that's not the rum storage area. That's just that's just where the rum is. We have backup and duplicate bottles on the wine rack up there, under the sink down here, in the back.
In the attic.
In the attic, scattered around, underneath the bed, in the drawer at work. Yeah, no, not in the drawer at work. Okay, so we have, I hope I did that right, 1.5 ounces of the Jamaica. I just did the Jamaica, but did I do 3/4 or did I do 2 in each?
You did 2, and at least the one you're right.
Okay, that was the second one. So therefore, okay, so I'm going to count myself good. Apparently, short-term memory is a problem today. Next up, the thing that gives this drink its distinctive flavor profile is coffee liqueur. And traditionally, that's been Kahlua, but we're reaching for Mr. Black these days. And usually you go with 3/4 of an ounce of Kahlua. We're going to go a little less than that of the Mr. Black because it is a lot more coffee flavored. I got to tell you, it doesn't seem like it, but pineapple and coffee together in a cocktail, really good stuff. Really, really good. So this is the Mr. Black. We're going to be using that. Got to thank David and Chris for tuning us into the Mr. Black because they did, and it's really good. Do we have? Sorry, isn't there there's a different form of Mr. Black?
There is. There is
I don't remember.
a new one on the market
Right. That we do not have.
that we do not.
I don't remember what
Yeah.
is new about it. So there's a scant 3/4 ounce. So rather than let the meniscus come all the way up to the line, I'm just going right under that line. There we go. Huh? There's grumbling.
There's a Mr. Black coffee tomorrow, limited release.
Oh, that sounds
There's
interesting.
a Mr. Black mezcal flask,
Mhm.
and then there's the Mr. Black rum barrel coffee, which I think is one you would.
There we go. Ding! We have a winner. Although I gotta say the mezcal will probably be pretty good too. Look at that. There was grumbling in the studio audience. Was I missing something?
No, I think they're just trying to figure out if they have Mr. Black.
Oh. We're gonna do that. There's a little taste of Mr. Black, so you can taste that, know what that's like, as opposed to the more traditional Kahlua. I find it has much more coffee flavor to it and much less of the sweetness that Kahlua has. All right, more shaky.
And let you have a little more Mai Thai.
Oh, I get to drink this evening? There was a point in the not too distant past where I was looking underneath my cabinet going, wow, we have a lot of double rocks glasses. Should I stop collecting the double rocks glasses? Do I have enough double rocks glasses? They're so cool because usually you get them with the restaurant's logo on them, and they can do all sorts of cool designs on them. They're a very versatile glass. The number of times I ran out of double rocks glasses last night was many to count, and so had to continually be trying to wash, but often I wouldn't get enough of the double rocks glasses back in order to make a drink order. So I think that's going to go in abeyance. We do not have too many double rocks glasses, that is for sure.
So, party report from the intermittent bar back. This was the first party with the new deeper sink and
yes.
the drink rinser. Oh, does that make things so much easier when you're wanting to rinse things out for making new drinks?
Or would that be
Got the
Elizabeth?
shaker. Well, no, from me.
Oh, from you.
I'm sure Elizabeth will second
We'll
that.
back you up on that?
Will back me up on
Speaking
that.
of which, there
Speaking
does
of
need to
that,
be
I can
clean.
rinse these.
So here we go. Here's a couple of Bali highs. We're going to reach over and just rip some pineapple fronds off of the tops of the pineapples. Come on. There we go. And use those as decorations. Stick those in there. Stick those in there. You could garnish that with whatever else you wanted. Like, I don't know. Didn't get a chance to use this last night because, well, I wasn't playing around with garnishes. I could only do what I could do real quick. So this is a banana blossom flower, or banana blossom. And these guys have this very cool sort of reddish yellow look to them. And you can just stick them in the same way that you would the pineapple fronds. Right? Just like that. Add a little color to it. Do that. You can actually cook and eat these. At some point there's like the heart of the banana blossom, and you can cook those. You can also use them just like you would use like a heart of palm or something along those lines. So there we go. There is, and don't be, it's got these little fronds off of it that look kind of like tentacles, a little weird.
I will deliver this one.
All right, we got straws in there.
Straw? Yeah.
Excellent. Stick that in there. Yeah, if you pull off the reddish leaves and get down to the pale core, that's what you can eat on the banana blossoms. So we need a straw for this.
Yep.
Also, the other discovery that I had last night is while we have a wide range of straw heights, these guys, this height was critical, because if you're going to have so many drinks coming out in double rocks glasses, you need straws that fit those double rocks glasses, because straws like this do not fit. You can see this would not work.
So what size is that for my next
For your next order,
order?
it's the same size as this one.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it's the small ones. So here we go, the Mr. Bali High. You'll note these guys do have a foam on the top of them.
From the pineapple?
It's from the pineapple. Pineapple foams when you shake it and aerate it. So obviously there was no egg white in this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to get a foam on your cocktail and you don't want to put egg white in it, and you don't mind pineapple as a flavor additive, you can do that. You have to counterbalance the sweetness of the pineapple and the acid, but there we go. So what do you think?
Yes.
You like the Bali High? Is that okay?
Oh, excellent. Don't believe that pineapple and coffee mix like that. Blends beautifully.
They do.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem like it should work. I would not recommend your morning coffee taking some pineapple syrup and putting it in your morning coffee. You're not going to wind up with the same, kind of flavor profile.
Even if you add rum?
Depends on how much rum you're adding.
Elizabeth agrees about the drink rinser.
The drink rinser? Yeah.
And you were missing your regular bar back.
Yes,
Yeah,
unfortunately, my regular barback is injured and was in cask. Cast? Not cask. That's where he would want to be. Dan often hangs around here and does barback duties and occasionally wanders over to the rum cabinet and pulls rums off that he wants to taste, and that's his prize for for acting as my barback. And, being my little bitch when I go, I need more ice! And, runs off and does that, or crushes ice, or whatever. So there you go. I will say, so we got one more drink to do this evening. And I know we started late, and so we've got about 6 minutes to finish and still be under an hour. So I'm going to get to hopping on this one. But I will say that the Saturn provoked the most response with regard to people tasting it. So the people would order a Saturn going, oh, that looks tasty, and their first sip, and they were like, oh, this is good. So here's hoping that the Saturn still is as good today as it apparently was last night. So we're going to do this as a blended drink. So I'm going to pull out a couple of blender tins. While we did 2 shaken drinks to start with, the rest of the drinks were all blended drinks last night. So that made it very easy in terms of I can just shove a drink tin here, hit it a couple times on the power button, be done, and not have to do the whole Boston shakery thing. So, Saturn. Saturn is a gin-based tiki drink. It's been around since the 60s. I think it's the 60s. I'd have to double check on that. And uses passion fruit syrup, which we have not used a lot around here up to this point. So normally when I make my passion fruit syrup, I just take the liquid concentrate passion fruit juice, the concentrate that makes passion fruit juice, and I mix that with an equal portion of syrup, sugar, heat that up, and I get a syrup out of it. This actually, I had a bag of passion fruit pulp, and I went and made a syrup with that and added the pulp to it and let that sit. And that's why I have to shake this up, because it gets all its flavor from the pulp that's in here. And it makes a surprisingly different kind of passion fruit syrup, so I may have to go to using that in the future. But the sour ingredient, lemon juice. Why? Well, because this drink is a gin base. gin and lemon are natural compadres, as opposed to gin and lime juice, which can work, but not quite as well, generally. Okay, lemon juice. We need a ½ ounce of lemon juice. 1, 2. What else? Passion fruit, obviously, because I was just talking about it. ½ ounce of passion fruit juice. Passion fruit syrup, sorry. Not passion fruit juice. Okay. And then we start in on our sweet ingredients. So there's sweet ingredients in terms of the passion fruit syrup, but then we have our old friend orgeat, 1/4 ounce. Quarter ounce is actually a little hard to measure with the orgeat because it's so thick. We also need a 1/4 ounce of falernum. So I've been asked about falernum and what is falernum. I've been told that it sounds like a made-up name, that it's not actually real. So falernum is a rum-based liqueur, but it is flavored with lime rinds and cloves and a variety of other Jamaican spices, as well as some almond. So it has a very different flavor than the orgeat. It is not nearly as thick. The citrus component comes out in this very strongly, as opposed to there's no citrus in the orgeat. Okay, we are also using a different falernum. Normally we are using John D. Taylor's Velvet Falernum, which is made by the Foursquare Company. And today we are not doing that because we ran out of the John D. Taylor and the local ABC stores aren't carrying it currently, which seems very odd to me, but they're not. So we went ahead and bought the Bitter Truth because the Bitter Truth makes really good stuff. We have many things from the Bitter Truth. They're very, very good. Is this the right cap? That is not the right cap. This is the right cap. Okay, so that goes back there with the allspice dram. Because the orgeat is so thick, when pouring small amounts, I like to mix it with whatever other ingredient I'm going to pour. So what I'm doing is I just did a 1/4 ounce of the first liquid and then another 1/4 ounce. So just bring it all the way up to the ½ ounce line. So that's what I've done for both of these. So because 1/4 ounce and 1/4 ounce equals a ½ ounce. Kids, learn your fractions. It'll keep your parents happy. Because you can make them cocktails, right? Show off your math skills for your parents by making them cocktails. Isn't that a good idea? Sure. Okay, next up, we need gin. We are using a London Dry gin. It's pretty standard for this cocktail, and the London Dry gin of choice here is Sipsmith, which was recommended to us while we were doing a rum tasting. We had gone to S&R Liquors because they had Samaroli rums for tasting, and in the back, there were a number of, who was it, the Gin Girl? Is that the
Gin Girl and
Gin Girl.
a friend of hers
were hawking Sipsmith gin, and so we said, sure, we'll take a taste of that. And we have bought Sipsmith gin ever since because it's really good. Okay, so we need 1 1/4 ounces. So here again, fractions are your friend. There's 3/4 ounce. And a ½ ounce. And there's a half. Why? Because no one's jigger is marked for 1 1/4 ounces. You flip this guy over, it's 1 1/2 and 1 3/4, but it is not 1 1/4. Okay, so there's the gin. But the secret ingredient here is we're combining spirits. We're going to go with both gin and rum. And for this, we are using the Equiano white rum. which is not here. And ooh, that's not a good thing because
I think you're safe.
oh, you found the Equiano white rum.
It
Okay.
got put away.
It got put away in the wrong spot because it was not next to the Equiano dark rum, which
Ah,
is where I looked for it before I started this
it was by
broadcast.
the Baku.
It was on the shelf below. Okay, that makes sense. 3/4 of an ounce Equiano, light rum. This is a mix. The Equiano is a mix of African and Caribbean rum. So, and this is the brainchild of, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember his name, Ian Burrell. Ian Burrell. Yeah, this is African rum. It makes a stop in Barbados where there are Bajan rums added to it, and then it makes a stop in the United States where it gets blended and aged and bottled, and that's where we get Equiano from. I think it's bottled here. It may be bottled somewhere else. Sorry. Can't remember for sure. All right, that's what we got. So we've got gin, we've got rum, we've got lemon juice, we've got orgeat, we've got passion fruit. That's the thing I was thinking of, is passion fruit. We've got the falernum in there. All we need now is some ice, and then we're going to blend this up. So we're going to do that. So most of the time when you're making blended drinks in a tiki style and you're using your spindle blender, you are just blending them. You're doing a flash blend. You want to get some oxygen in there and you want to get them mixed up, develop a little bit of a foam on them. The Saturn is different. The Saturn is different in that you actually want to blend this until it is kind of creamy, which is a little hard to do with a spindle blender. But I didn't have any complaints, so I'm not going to worry about it. What's that? I think the only complaints I had last night on cocktails was actually from Debbie, whose primary complaint was, "Where's my cocktail?" So, yeah.
And she was sending a different person each time.
Right.
To fetch her a drink.
Yeah.
Your mom should go up on camera and show off her shirt.
Should she? Okay. Well, she and Larry showed up in matching shirts last night, which there were a number of people that complimented me on my mother and Larry's taste in clothing for being matching twinsies. It made it easy to determine who they belonged to.
She dresses me well.
And where am I supposed to be?
Behind the camera, so you got to come back here. And we're gonna stick
I
a
have my
couple.
bad shirt on.
Bad shirt.
I think that's what's supposed to be
Yeah.
to
Close
it.
the, close the front a little so they can see it.
It's got sheep. It's got
Turn
sheep.
around, show them the
It's
back.
a tiki. It's a sheepish tiki shirt.
Show them the back, Freddie.
See? Ba ba
All right.
ba ba. Meh. All right, we have Saturn.
Can I take that with me?
Sure. The garnish for the Saturn, what I was doing last night when I had time, was taking a lemon curl and wrapping it around a cherry and just sticking a cue through it. We're not going to do that right now. Because We're running out of time, and I'm tired of running to the back room, which is where I'd have to go to get the lemon curls, so I'm not going to do that.
You could put one of those in there.
I could put just a desiccated, that sounds awful, a dehydrated lime wheel in it. The other thing to do for a Saturn They will often use a lemon curl, so they'll just use a channel knife to create a long curl and wrap it around a swizzle stick that has a cherry on it. Or the thing that I like to do is to take something like your dehydrated lime wheel, take a cherry, cut it in half, put half the cherry on the top and half the cherry on the bottom, stick a poker. That's not what I'm looking for. Pick through it.
A Disney Diva pick.
So that it looks kind of like the rings around Saturn, which, you know, is kind of a cool thing to do. We didn't do that. That's all right. I do have Luxardo cherries back here somewhere, but we're not going to do that. You can garnish this with a little bit of mint. I think
we
it's.
sold a bunch of people on the Michigan cherries.
Oh yeah.
The Upper Peninsula.
Yeah,
cherries.
we have some Upper Peninsula cherries that are just beautiful and tart and so much better than the. They're not so
You
much
didn't
better.
Show your new.
I haven't shown off the new mug either, right? This is the drink that got everybody first taste of that drink, and they just went, "Wow, that's really good." It's very different. It is Star's favorite gin-based tiki drink, maybe even favorite tiki drink.
No,
Okay,
second favorite.
second favorite. Trade winds.
Yes,
Trade
Trade
Winds
Winds
is-
is my favorite.
Because she likes coconut and apricot.
Yeah.
Yep. In addition to all of the other things that were going on this week, I attended a business conference at IDA. Mom and Larry came in. We hung out with them. Getting ready for the party. Going generally insane. We got a package. And we got a package from Horror and Clay. And so the Horror and Clay mug that we had asked for has arrived. And this is the wreck of the Hesperus. So it says the wreck of the Hesperus on the back. This is quite a hefty mug. And of course has the Horror and Clay imprint on the bottom. And here is the front of this. So this is intended to be the prow of a ship up front. And you can see the mast maiden, the kind of scary mast maiden on the front of that. Very, very cool. And there's tentacles and eyeballs and other things on this mug. It's just very, very nifty. Very cool. I'm happy to add that to the collection as soon as I can find room on the Cthulhu shelf to manage to squeeze this in somewhere.
And your new tip jar.
And my new tip jar. So we have a little jar, right, like this. It's got tentacles wrapped around it. And here is the lid. Right. There you go. It's got the great big octopus head on the lid. Very, very cool. And thank you all to those individuals last night that saw fit to throw some cash in there. It was entirely at your own recognizance to do that. We don't ask you to do that. We just mentioned that there's a tip jar there. Thank you for your generosity. It goes to defraying the cost of at least the citrus. Maybe all that it does, but at least the citrus. Maybe at least one physical therapy session for my shoulder from shaking and Star's hand from juicing. So yeah, there you go. That's what we do. That's how we roll around here. Got a couple of more things that we have to clean up before we can turn this over to the maids on Monday and have them go to town on it. But otherwise, there we go. That's another episode. This has been 119. So I think it's 119 of Quarantiki. Different hat. Parents, we're good. All right. Any question? We got anything coming in from the Peanut Gallery?
Nothing
Comments?
From the peanut gallery.
Everybody's saying, look, you've now gone an hour and 10 minutes. Get the heck off the line. We're all good. Oh, by the way, I got to say, so it's also coming up on my birthday. And so I got a fancy new shirt from my mom and Larry because, well, they happen to know the addictions that are inhabit my
I
life.
got a fancy new shirt as well.
She did. Yep.
Yeah.
The first came all the way from Savannah.
Mine
Yep.
came from Savannah, Georgia.
Your mic's not on.
This came
Oh.
from Warren.
My mic went off because I was quiet for a while.
I'm
It
sorry.
does that. That's okay. They didn't
Wow,
need
so
to hear me.
that tells me something about my speaking. I'm never quiet enough for my mic to go off. All right. This has been episode 119, Lovecraft Cocktails, doing Quarantiki for you every week. Every week.
And next week from
Next-
Kentucky on
Next
the
week,
road.
I will not have my faithful sidekick with me. I will
No?
have to be doing this solo.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that episode is going to look like. No, it will not be using Kentucky bourbon. I really doubt it. For those of you that are impressed by my knowledge of rum or whatever, just know that when I walk into a liquor store in Kentucky and see all of the bourbon, I'm equally as
What?
lost. I'm just like, what?
Why are there all these bottles?
Right.
Are they
We're-
different?
Exactly.
Bourbon.
It's like, do you have a rum section? Oh yeah, I think we have some 3 bottles back here somewhere. Yeah. So probably not coming back from Kentucky with rum. Anyway, next week's broadcast, probably from a hotel room in Kentucky. I will see you all then. The wife will not see you, although she might tune in for the broadcast. That would be kind of nice and a little weird, but we're going to make it happen. Cross fingers, hope and pray, and we'll see you next week.